Hello everybody, it's Tamara Bennett. How are you? I am live for day 11 of 30 days of Facebook Live. And I need to grab my laptop stand. So sorry. I had to get my laptop out so that I could read your all's comments because I had to back the camera way up today compared to normal. So I can barely see what you guys are saying. So got my laptop out. I've got the comments. I'm going to pull them up on here so I can see them and talk with you guys. Let me hit refresh. How is everybody? Are y'all having a good day? Tell me where you're from. If you're new here, let me know. I see that, let's see. I see people popping on. Hi, Melinda. How are you? Okay, scrolling down. Here we are. There I am. All right, let me pull this up so I can see your comments. Okay. Hey, Kathy. Good afternoon. Okay, I've got an odd, different, out of the norm project for me. This door hanger is massive. I did not paint this. So this door hanger, look how big this thing is. This door hanger belongs to a friend. Okay, how do I explain this? My mother plays tennis with a group of ladies, and one of the ladies in her tennis group, hello Susan and Lynn, her daughter is a teacher or a counselor, like a school counselor. And so she asked if I could fix this door hanger because she has moved schools. So she needs to take off this part that says green unit. And I'm like, ooh, that might be kind of tricky because of the blue and white, blue and white streaky looking background. Can you see that? It's got a little bit of like a streak running through it. I'm afraid it's going to look like a patch job right here, but I don't know. We're going to give it a test and see if I can fix this. Instead of repainting the entire thing, we're going to try to do just this area. If that doesn't work out, we will redo this entire area. So I don't know. We'll just play it by ear and see. Hey, Yvette and Pat. Hello, Pam from Arkansas. Hello, Linda. Good to see you again. So the first thing I'm going to say is put your hand across the door hanger. Can you feel like a texture? If you can, where the paint was a little thicker on some letters, then just take a really small sanding block and just give it a light sand in the areas where there's some texture, just so that everything has a nice smooth start. Sandy says, I've recruited several friends for the workshop. They're gonna do great. Sandy, awesome. I love that you found some friends to do this with. Has anybody else done that? If you're like me, crafty people come in trios and pairs and groups, and so everybody usually has a crafty buddy. So find a crafty friend to do this with you. If you don't know what we're talking about the double-sided door hanger workshop. This door hanger hanging up behind me here is the one we're going to be teaching in our workshop. There we go. I can't fix the bow right now, but you get the picture. That's the one we're going to be painting. We made the bow for it last night, so if you've ever wondered how to make a double-sided bow, go watch last night's live. Hey, Jennifer. She said, I'm working on my mom. Awesome. Your mom should come join us. Lori said, I can't wait to see the results. Ray says, I've got friends doing it too. I love it. If you guys decide to get together a group of you and you're all painting together in somebody's living room or kitchen, please take pictures and send them to me or post them inside the workshop Facebook group. I would love to see all of you guys painting together. Okay, so I'm just sanding off any of the little rough spots, or not rough spots, but the raised spots. That's probably the correct word. The raised spots where the old wording was. So it's still going to say her name and counselor, but instead of green unit, I'm not sure what that means, but instead of green unit, it will say school counselor. Or I guess it could say, well, I may just put school because I don't know if she's technically I don't know much about guidance counselors and stuff, but if she's not an actual guidance counselor, maybe it just needs to say school counselor. All right, now I'm just wiping off all the dust with my paper towel. And you can see that it started to buff away the words just a little bit, they're a little bit. Oh, I feel a spot right there that I've missed. It's always good to double check. That's just where there was a little bit of extra paint on the end of her brush when she was making that letter N. So I don't know who originally painted this. There's not any There's not a business name on it or anything. But from what I understand, the person who originally owned this door hanger is from Louisville, Kentucky. So if you are a door hanger painter in Louisville, Kentucky, and you recognize this door hanger, I would love to know, because I'm now taking part of the name off and painting it different for you, because she has moved this way. She now lives on this end of Kentucky, and she's no longer teaching in Louisville, and so she needed somebody to kind of fix it for her. Are the templates for the workshop ready? I don't think so. I have not been told. Patricia, the templates are going to be in the Facebook group, but I downloaded them myself the other day, and I noticed that they were missing, like the sizing was off, and so I'm having them redo them so that they are the correct size. So I apologize for the delay, but we're going to get you the correct size very soon. Tammy said she can't wait to paint her first door hanger. I'm so excited that you're going to be doing it with us. If you have not signed up for the workshop yet and you want to learn to paint this double-sided fall door hanger, I keep having to flip it over so you can see both sides. It's just $10. We're going to teach you how to paint both sides. These ribbons. We're going to teach you how to paint both sides for just $10. You can pick up a wooden round anywhere, like at your local Walmart, or if they sell wooden rounds at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, anywhere like that. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to get creative about the color on this because I've got to try to match the color that's already on here. So I've got a little bit of this blue, which is a really light sky blue, and I've got some white. So we'll see. I'm just gonna give it a quick base coat of the white right through here, and then I'm going to try to make the colors blend. So the white is just meant to cover up the original wording. So I'm only going to paint over right now the word green unit. And I'm going to try my best to make this not look like a patch job. If it ends up looking like a patch job and it's obvious that we changed something on it, then we will just paint over the entire page. We'll just fix it. I hope I don't have to do that though. The reason I hope I don't have to do that is because this is somebody else's work. I don't want to completely redo somebody else's work if I don't have to. I want to be able to like keep it in its most original state as if possible. Okay, we're gonna get those brush strokes out as best you can because it's gonna be obvious that there's a lot of brush strokes. If you notice, I'm also kind of feathering it up and down at the bottom, like thinning it out toward the edges so that there's no like obvious start and stop point of the paint. Just feather it down just a little. Okay, let's dry. Oh, bummer. Corey has to work this weekend. Uncle Corey, he was talking to me last night on last night's live, and he was hoping to be able to join me on a Facebook Live this weekend. I'm so bummed. You got to work. Well, we've still got, today's only day 11. We still have 19 days. So if not this weekend, maybe the next weekend, Corey. Corey works throughout the week, and he was wanting to join me on a Facebook Live sometime. So that's what we're chatting about. Cassie said you should just paint another one. That way you don't have to keep flipping over the workshop door hanger. But the problem with painting another one is that then it wouldn't be obvious that it's a two-sided door hanger. It would look like two door hangers, right? What's up, Travis?
I found wasp spray. There's a big old nest.
There's wasp spray out in the shed.
Okay. Where?
On the workbench in the shed. It'll say wasp spray on it.
I love you.
Love you too. Shut the door.
I will.
That's my son Travis. He's outside doing yard work, and I guess the wasps are after him. You want to know where the wasp spray is. All right, we're doing another very thin coat of white to cover up the black lettering. And once we get this covered, we will start feathering in some of that blue to kind of make it blend, hopefully. And then we will paint the new lettering on it. It's the trick, I believe, with stuff like this, with fixing something, is sanding it down to get a nice, like, smooth, flat starting point. And when you're painting over something, doing it thin. So I did I'm on my second thin coat, and it may require a third thin coat before the black is completely covered. Because if you go with too thick of a coat, it's going to be obvious that you patched it. Okay. Okay, so Aaliyah, one of my team members, is telling us in the comments that the template size that had been redone is now available. So you guys should be able to go in and download the correct template size. So after this live is over, I will go download the correct template size, and I will go live inside that Facebook group for the workshop and show you guys how to assemble it, okay? So I will send out a text notification for that as well. So if you get a second text from me and you're in the workshop, that's what it's going to be about. I will come in there and show you how to put that template together. All right, I think 3 coats is going to do it. 3 thin coats of white. It's tricky to paint this and not get it all over the wording down here. Put a little bit more right there. Okay. Whew. Okay. Okay, for those of you just hopping on, I'm seeing Kyleen and Rhonda asking, or not Rhonda, but Kyleen and somebody else was asking, and Christina was asking, what are you doing? So this is not my door hanger, okay? This is somebody else's door hanger that was painted. I did not paint this originally. And the story on this is that my mother plays tennis with a group of ladies, and one of the ladies has a daughter who is a counselor at a school. Well, she was a teacher or a counselor in Louisville, Kentucky, and she's recently moved here. So she asked my mother if me, her daughter, could paint over the part where it had the school name or whatever. It said green unit. I don't know what that means, but she wanted me to paint over that and just put school, so school counselor. That way it's more relevant to the new school that she's working in, and it doesn't have her old school information on it. Let's see. Marina says you could also change the pencil color for her new school. Yeah, I don't know what school she's at now, so otherwise I could paint it to match the school's colors. So we are patching this, and I'm going to put the word school. So the trick to doing this, like I said, is to take a sanding block to gently sand away the old wording, simply because when you do brush strokes for wordings, there's going to be different thicknesses in the paint, and you don't want that to show up like as a texture behind the new word. So we sanded it down, and we've done 3 thin coats of white. But this door hanger is especially tricky because of the blue streaked through the background. So now I'm going to attempt to cover up the white with some blue streaked in and it not be obvious. If it is completely obvious and it looks like we patched it really bad, then we're gonna have to paint over the whole thing. Thank you, Colleen. Jan says, Jan is my mom. Mom says it's East Elementary. So should I paint over the pencil or should I keep it green? I'm gonna let my mom decide since it's her friend I'm doing this for. Tell me what you want me to do with the pencil. Marina says that was a nervous laugh. Absolutely that was, because I really don't want to paint over somebody else's work if I don't have to. Hey Michaela, welcome. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more white, just in case, because I'll probably have to do a little bit of streaking. I saw also that Mary asked a question earlier about what kind of brushes I like. I like any kind of brushes that have nylon bristles. I'm not like sold on any particular brand yet. But right now I'm using one that looks like a unicorn horn. And I really like this one. It's in good shape. Christina says, I'm from Louisville. Well, if you know who made this door hanger, let me know, because I have no idea. I think it was probably years ago that whoever made it. Debbie says, I love all of your earrings. Where do you get them? These in particular came from Anna's Inspired by You jewelry. And they're the colors of Murray State Racers, which is my college. And they kind of matched this shirt perfectly. And some of you guys are probably laughing because you're like, she wore that shirt last night. Yes, and I slept in it. It's still clean. I was clean. I took a shower, okay? Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of white first. Even though we've got 3 coats of white on here, I'm going to put down a little bit of white in just a small area. And then I'm going to pick up some of this blue and just start feathering in the blue. Actually, let me get my brush wet too. I need it to be thinner. Everybody hold your breath and see if I can do this. I feel like this is like a real challenge. It's gonna stretch me as a painter to figure this out, how to feather this blue and white in without making it obvious. I think the trick is gonna be less blue, more white, and more water. And then just keeping that brush stroke feather light so that it's just feathering that on there and it looks like it's just blending. Where did my, oh, here we go. If you get too much water, just take a paper towel and kind of dab it up. Thank you, is it Rochelle or Raquel? Thank you. She said she loves my back wall. We have a whole blog post on how I painted this wall, how I made my palette wall on our blog. And of course, this is the door hanger that we were talking about that we're going to be teaching in the wood letter workshop. I've put the links for you guys in the video description if you're interested in signing up. It starts August 16th. I'm just getting a teensy bit of this blue on the corner of my brush. I think I'm going to be able to do this, guys. I'm gaining confidence. Can you hear me? I'm going less from a nervous, doubting laugh to like, I think I can do it. I think I can. Just keep feathering it in. It's looking good. I'm excited. Not to mention, we're going to paint a word over this. Oops, that was a little too much blue. We're going to paint a word over this, so the word will distract from some of the fact that it was a patch job. Okay, here's before and after. Hang on, let me feather the edges of this a little better. Before I finish, let me show you what it looks like. Okay, there's where I've patched it, and there's where I haven't yet. It's not obvious, is it? I think it looks pretty good so far. Michelle says it's looking good from here. Mom says I had faith in you. Thanks, Mom. Did you answer my question about the color? I'm going to go up and see if Mom answered my question. No, I don't think she did. Wait. You said it was East Elementary. So, Mom, answer my question in the comments. Do I need to paint over the pencil or not? If so, what color? Thank you, guys. Y'all are such good cheerleaders. And somebody asked how I matched the blue. By eye. I just happened to have this color, which is called Provence Sky. And I was like, that looks pretty close. But you know what? I'm really only using a teensy amount of it. This is like 90% white with just a wee little bit of blue and some water. So I'm just barely dipping the corner of my brush in the blue, and then I'm getting my brush wet and streaking it on. So I kind of matched it by eye, to be honest with you. And the great thing is the background of this door hanger was originally painted by somebody who did a very good job, like making it look really nice and blended and stuff like that. So it's not like there's not like a super streaky pattern to it or anything that's hard to match. It's very subtle. And this is forgiving too. Like you can get a little bit more, like if you get it too thick, you can get a little more white and streak in the white. But the trick, I believe, is kind of like letting your brush flick at the edges. Mom says red or blue would look good. She needs a vote. Okay, everybody vote. Should I paint the pencil red or blue? School colors are red and blue, so you can let me know which one, red or blue. Her old school must have had green as a color because it used to say green unit right across here. I don't know what that meant, but if anybody's from Louisville and knows what that means. Okay, my patch job looks pretty stinking good. I am proud of this. Whew. Joy says, I want one for my classroom. Well, I think we have a design similar to this in our shop. If you want to go download the template or purchase a wooden blank, you could totally paint one for yourself. Judy says, I love red. Yvette says, dark blue. Blue with the red polka dots. I knew, Holly, I knew somebody was going to say to use both colors. When you can't decide, you're like, both. I'm just going to paint over it with white first to kind of neutralize this green. And then we'll choose a color. Missy says, I never doubted you. My mom didn't either. She knew I could do this, even though I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. Mom's one of my best cheerleaders. She has a lot of belief in me and thinks I can do just about anything with a paintbrush. Does anybody have any questions about the workshop while you got me here? Is everybody all signed up and got it figured out? If you're not, you can sign up at the link up above. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, we're talking about that door hanger hanging up beside me. It's a double-sided door hanger. The back side has a turkey on it. And we're going to teach you how to paint that in our wood letter workshop. It's $10 to participate. You can cut your own wooden round if you want to, or you can purchase one from us for $12. Catherine, the round is 18 inches. 18 inches. You guys are sweet. I was reading your comments and giggling. That's what moms are for. Absolutely. No, Susan, Painters Clubhouse members do not have to pay the $10 fee. They get in for free. So there's instructions inside the Painters Clubhouse for how to get in. Polka dots are happy. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe painting the pencil red. And I might put blue polka dots on it. I don't know yet. I'm not committing yet. Somebody just said I signed up. Awesome. So glad to hear it. But yeah, they have wooden rounds at Hobby Lobby, but I think they're like a 1/2 inch thick. So it depends on if you want, you know, the 1/2 inch thick rounds. They're a little heavier for your door. If you want the thin ones, like the one I've got back here, it's a 1/4 inch thick, and we sell those in our shop for $12. Polka dots. What are the school colors are red and blue. But I think I was a little bit hesitant to do just blue because we got so much blue in the background of this, the paper, and I kind of wanted it to stand out. All right, let me dry this, and then we're going to paint it. Yay, Katie signed up. Awesome. Joanne, the board behind me is MDF. That's what your wooden round will be as well. Okay, this one is just primary red. Just a regular old primary red, which is great for school. All right, I'm going to, well, no, I'm not going to switch brushes. We'll just use this one. And just paint right over our white. I should have painted this gray instead of white because gray is a great color to use behind red, because if red is really streaky, the gray will kind of tone, it helps with the tone and the coverage. White's fine too, but gray would have been even better. I didn't really think about it till after the fact. Ooh. This paint has some dry chunks in it. Hang on, let me pick these up. We do not want that. Kathy says, I signed up for the door hanger in the Painters Clubhouse at the same time, so I got $10 off my first month. Yes, girl. So when you sign up for the workshop that we're talking about, it will ask you after you've signed up, are you interested in joining Painters Clubhouse? If you're not sure about that, you can just say no. It's okay. You'll have another opportunity to say yes later. But if you do, you will get $10 off your first month in Painters Clubhouse, which pretty much makes your entry for the workshop free, right? Because you get that $10 back. So that's up to you. If you're not sure yet, you can think on it. You can cancel at any time. And Painters Clubhouse is just our membership where we teach you door hanger painting every month. So if this is something you enjoy, that's definitely a good place to be. Ellie was asking where I got the template for this one. I didn't paint this actual door hanger. Somebody else did. I am just fixing the wording on it for her. We do have a template similar to this one in our shop if you want to paint a piece of paper with a pencil across it. So just go in there and search paper and pencil or something like that at shopdoorhangers.com. And you can buy the paper template if you want, or you can get the wooden blank shipped to you and you can paint one of these as well. All right, second coat on this red and we'll call it done. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm also going to take my paint pen and touch up, well, actually, no, let me do that with a paintbrush because the edge is kind of beveled and I'm afraid it wouldn't cover real good. Get a round tip brush and some black paint. The end of the pencil looks like it got dinged by something, like maybe this got dropped or fell off the door at some point. So I'm just going to do some touch-up work on it. There's a couple little spots where the paint is kind of knocked off. So we're just fixing her right up so that she's ready to hang it on the door when she gets back to her class or her new classroom. I'm also going to make a new bow for it, but I may not do that in today's live. I may do that like this weekend sometime. So maybe Saturday I'll go live and teach another way. Sorry, I'm like talking, I'm interrupting myself. Do you guys ever do that? You start to say one thing and then your brain's like, no, say this instead. And then you interrupt yourself. What I was going to say is I can teach you guys another way to make a bow. I did teach how to make a bow last night on the live, and that was a simple door hanger bow, but it was double-sided. So if that interests you, the bow that we have on this one, which is not showed off really well right now because it's kind of stuck behind the door hanger. I showed you how to make that one live last night. And we'll teach a different kind on Saturday. I'll go live and do one. Okay, I'm just fixing the details and the lines on the edge of this. There we go, straightening up that black. Let me do it on, hold on. I'm getting this all over my hand. Kelly says you won't regret it. Just join. I'm starting a subscription. Oh, it disappeared. I lost your comment. What kind of paint do you use? I use Decor Americana paints. They are matte acrylics. I really like how thick they are. They're not super thick, but they're thicker than some of the cheaper paints that you guys may find at like Walmart and places like that. Which I've heard Decor paint is starting to be sold in Walmart, which is exciting. Our Walmart doesn't have it yet. Okay, I'm gonna dry this so I don't get my arm in it, and then we're gonna paint the word school right here. Where do you get your paintbrushes? Symmetra. The one I was just using, I think is from Hobby Lobby. So is the one that has like a unicorn looking handle. I think those were some specialty ones from Hobby Lobby. We also sell some in our shop, but they're not that fancy, unfortunately. Karen says, I have no regret signing up with you, Tamara. I really enjoy all the fun you show us. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and here's Kelly's comment. She said, I'm going to start a subscription box with painting door hangers as being a part of the Painters Clubhouse. That is so exciting. Tabitha's hoping to sign up even though she has a broken wrist. Oh, Tabitha. Well, what's your healing time, Tabitha? Like, if it's only 6 weeks, you could totally still paint this double-sided door hanger when your wrist is healed and have time to hang it up all this fall. Because even if you can't paint live with us, you can still participate live by joining us and chatting with us in the workshop. And then you could paint when you have time or when your wrist is healed. Ruth, it's over in the Painters Clubhouse. It's probably linked in the announcements if I had to guess. Cindy, that's a good idea. She said I could paint a little circle with a number 2 in it, like a number 2 pencil. If you're late getting on here, we're patching up an old door hanger that somebody had that needed, just needed a little facelift. It needed a different word on it because it said something else right here, and she wants the word school. And we painted over the pencil. It used to be green. Now we're making it red. And now we're going to add some polka dots to our red pencil. So I'm going to get a blue. Let's see. I'm trying to think about our school colors here. It's kind of this color blue, but it's also kind of a little lighter. So I'm going to mix 2 colors to make our school colors. I always like to mix with the bottom part of my paintbrush, not the bristles, because then your paint gets all built up in the bristles and gets stuck down in the ferrule of the paintbrush, and that can ruin your paintbrushes. So don't mix your paint with the tip of the brush, mix it with the end. Alma says, I prefer to go watch and then paint later. It's a good way to like absorb the information and then go back and actually apply it later. Elaine, the workshop link is up in the video description. This is the one we're going to be painting. It's got a turkey on one side and a pumpkin on the other. So it's only $10. Go pick up a wooden round like at a local store or cut your own, and you can paint with us. And you're not gonna have to freehand anything. I forgot to mention that earlier. If you're scared to paint lettering or you can't draw a sticky figure, don't worry. We're not gonna make you draw that pumpkin or freehand that lettering. We have a template for you, okay? Where do you find the monogram letter you put on your door hanger? Susie, we made it in Canva. Guys, I'm going to freehand some polka dots. Don't freak out. The reason I'm freehanding them is because I've already got the detail lines, like the black outline around this pencil. And if I were to use sponge pouncers to do these polka dots, it would mess up my detailing outline. So we're just going to freehand some polka dots. I'm going to make them kind of coming on and off the pencil. This blue and red is perfect together. Great idea, Holly. Put the name on the pencil. I could, yeah. I don't want it to be too wordy though, since it's got her name and school counselor and all that. I feel like sometimes you can get too many words on a door hanger and then it's like too distracting. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to keep it a little simple. You're welcome. Will the lives for the workshop be in the evening? Yes, they will be during the evening, Sandy. And I don't think we're doing one on the Wednesday. Actually, no, we are. So every night, I think they're going to be at like 7 p.m. Central, except for Wednesday night. I think that one will be at 8:30 p.m. Central because I have Bible study at church on Wednesday nights. So that one will be a little bit different time. And so we're going to break down this door hanger behind me in steps. You won't have to paint it all at one time, okay? We'll break it down in steps so that you can kind of digest it a little at a time. Because, if I were to paint that all in one go, you guys might have a hard time keeping up. So doing it in steps kind of makes it a little easier for you guys to learn and digest it. All right, I think I got my polka dots just a wee bit close together here at the end. It's hard to do polka dots in such a narrow area, but I still think it turned out cute. Okay, rinse that brush, and then I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and do just a little highlight on each polka dot. Kind of looks like a comma or something. It's like where the light bounces off the polka dot. Let's put a little bit over here on the pencil tip and the eraser. All right, now let's do the lettering. Let's see if I can match our lettering. Oh, I don't know why I put that way over there. We're gonna need some black paint. Time to get nervous again, Tamara. I gotta make my lettering look like her lettering. Awesome, Sandy. Marina says, thank you for taking church into consideration. Always. Church and worshiping God is always my #1 priority, and business and everything else comes second. So you will always have that from me. Okay. Let me see what size brush to use. Now this is a filbert, I don't know why I'm holding out like this. It's not like you can see it. It's a filbert tip brush. Meaning that instead of being, let me find an example. Instead of being flat across like this, it's kind of curved on the edges. It doesn't have these blunt ends. If you think about like when you go to the nail salon and they ask you, do you want square tip or do you want round tip, right? For your fingernails. And I always say I want squoval, which is like square and oval combined. I want squoval. So that's kind of what I think of when I think of the filbert tip brush. It's like a squoval tip. It's not perfectly round. It's not perfectly flat. It's in between. And this one, I have no idea what size it is, but if I had to guess, it's probably a size 6. But when you lay it down on top of the lettering that's already on here, and I kind of push down with it, I can see that when the bristles spread out on the wood, they do not go past the width of the lettering. Okay, so that means that this is an appropriate size brush for this lettering. Do you sell that pumpkin pattern behind you? We do sell a pattern similar to that pumpkin, but without the lettering. So there is a pumpkin template in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com that's similar if you just want the pumpkin. But if you want to paint the one like this one behind me, you'll have to sign up for the workshop. It's a double-sided door hanger workshop. We're going to teach you how to paint both sides. It's $10, and you get the templates for both sides in that workshop. So all you'll need is paint and brushes. We've got a supply list for you. It includes like painter's tape, which we forgot to put on there, and a wooden round, like an 18-inch wooden round. Oh, thank you, Jen. God is everything. Absolutely. God is good. Don't forget to dry the polka dots. They're actually already dry. Already. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up our black paint, and I'm going to freehand this. You could go ahead and draw it on here if you want, but I think it's going to look more natural if I freehanded it, because that's what she did originally. So I got to keep in mind, I don't want to make it bigger than this right here. So it probably needs to only take up about this much space. So I'm going to start right here and just do an S. And looking at her other S, it looks like it goes around and then it curves up like that. And then it's got a little serif on it. And then the C, there's a C, so I just got to match her C but make it a little smaller. Okay, her H. Just got to, oh, and that one has a serif too. And then O, okay, here's an O. If I didn't have a letter to match, then I would just imagine kind of like what that letter might look like. But it helps that I can actually see it. And then the L, does that go? School, council. That's an odd letter L, but okay. I think it goes down like this. And then there's like a thing like this, and then there's a serif at the bottom. Not bad. I'm proud of myself. I did it! Okay, let me hold it up. Let's see if you guys can tell that it was a patch job. Can you tell? I think you can tell a little bit because this area right here doesn't have any sealer on it. So like when it shines in certain lights, you can tell that it's dry. Like see how right there? You can see that this is shiny and this is not. So once I spray it with a sealer, I bet you won't be able to tell at all. Susie is amazed. Thank you, Susie. Tawny says, you changed my life when you showed us how to use buffalo plaid with the painter's tape. We're going to show it again in this workshop. So come back and join us for that. Thank you, Mary. Thanks, Pam. She says, woohoo, looks great. Thank you, Michelle and Darlene. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you. You're my best. You're really good cheerleaders, even if Even if my mom's not around, I can come on here and you guys can cheer me. Do you put any cleaner in your water? No, it's just water. Just water. That's all I rinse my brushes with. All right, if I missed your comment, I'm so sorry. I will try to go back and read those if I can. I really like the pencil now. It really stands out even more, doesn't it, with the little polka dots? Now, Saturday, I'm going to come back and we're going to put a new bow on it, okay? But I'll save that for Saturday because I've got to go live inside the workshop group right now. I'm going to go print out the new template and show them how to assemble it so that they know how to put it together, okay? So if you want to come and participate, it's only $10 to sign up. We're going to teach you how to paint both sides, and anybody can do it, okay? So come and join us. I'm going to head over there in just a moment. Thanks, Mom. Can you fix the dot on the last eye to match? The dot on the last eye. I don't know. I'll have to look at it in a minute. I have to look at it with a fresh eyes. All right, I got to walk around to be able to turn this off because I couldn't reach it. Bye, you guys.